That's a good one. I think we'll maybe go to our next question.
Okay. You use good quality paper, I just want to say.
Thank you. Ooh. This is nice because we met on a trade show floor, and I see a lot of franchisors go here to be visible. So the question is, how can franchisors make opportunities more visible, especially for those who may not see themselves represented?
Okay, how can franchisors make opportunities more visible to those who might not see themselves represented? So that's huge. And I think at the core of that question is just the understanding that, there's a saying, you have to see it to be it, right? It's hard for someone to envision themselves on a path that they've never seen anyone who looks like them or with a story like them actually living out.
Yes.
Right? Like that's great for other people, but what about for me? So how do we do that? How do we show people that they absolutely can fit here? And I think that's maybe the $1 million question. Yes. I think it also kind of calls back to the power of storytelling. I think wherever possible, in your network, if you do have, inspiring stories, leverage that, right? Yeah. Make sure that you are featuring stories from actual franchisees of all kinds of different backgrounds. If that's not necessarily possible in your network, and that's something that you've identified as maybe a little bit of a challenge to overcome, can you at least highlight franchisees who, joined your system maybe through unique or non-traditional paths or different backgrounds? Right. That can at least help expand the message that more than one kind of background is welcome here. More than one kind of background can find success here. Yes. And I mean, also just to not hopefully sidetrack too far, but isn't it our job as franchisors to create a system that can be replicated and taught, like truly at the base of it? Yes. It should not be entirely dependent on one type of human being to keep doing it. I think that onus is a little more on our side. That's my opinion. Yeah. We talked a little bit about avoiding jargon, heavy words. I think that applies here as well. Yeah. But in terms of visibility specifically, we want to go beyond traditional recruitment channels. And I would say the traditional recruitment channels, trade shows are a huge one that we've relied on since the dawn of time. Yes. Or the dawn of franchising, whenever that was. But I think another really big one that, I've seen in this space, a lot of brands are relying on leads that come in through their website, whether they're finding the website organically just because you have a brand that happens to be very recognizable and you can just kind of benefit from those natural searches, or whether you are driving them there through advertising. And so I would say, like with your website, it's the lowest hanging fruit. It's an important lead generator. And for, most of the experience I've had, it's been the primary lead source. Yeah. It should not be your only one, because the people who are finding you on your website are the people who had to think of you first. And so it's going to be people who already think of themselves as entrepreneurs. You're not getting beyond, you're not reaching a very wide audience because you're actually not reaching out at all. Yeah. You're sitting there waiting to be found. Yeah. And that's okay. You've got to be easy to find as well. That's important. Passive recruitment strategy is just as important as active. Yeah. But if we want to get active, and if we want to specifically think about channels to get in front of others who might not yet be considering what their potential opportunity could be in franchising, think about not just trade shows that are franchise specific, but other business fairs, other entrepreneurial spaces, business for certain groups of people like newcomers, right? Or all kinds of different identities. All these types of business councils exist, and they're full of cool people and amazing resources. Are
that part, the resources, because, when you talked about the traditional channels, website, yeah, for sure. Trade show, yeah, for sure. That's for people who already know a little bit about franchising or a little bit about your brand. And I've had the opportunity in the last, I would say 6 months mainly, to talk to a lot of, different people from my community. And there's still a lack of knowledge and understanding around the opportunities that are within franchising. Whether you are building a franchise or trying to build a franchise, maybe you're an entrepreneur that has a couple of units and, they're operating really well, they're profitable, and you've been thinking about franchising, like there's room here for you. If you're trying to buy a franchise, there's still this misconception out there that it's restaurants and restaurants only. No.
I love restaurants.
Yeah, we're
both
from restaurants, QSR, full service, like the whole gambit. But there is a whole other world out there beyond restaurants. And then finally, for the people who maybe have dreams of supplying a franchise brand, I think there's so much opportunity within supply chain, especially now.
Absolutely.
To diversify that supply chain, give opportunities to the communities that support your brand and build your brand. Like it's a win-win situation when you're partnering with the right people and the right brand. And so reputable organizations, community centers, nonprofits that have some skin in the game.
Yeah.
And again, have a great reputation. Why not start there?
Yeah.
Because you're just there isn't a building big enough to host everybody that has could have an opportunity in franchising. Like there is really so much more.
Absolutely.
More out there.
And I think another way that we can position ourselves and get in front of people who might not see themselves traditionally in this space, host intro to franchising sessions. Like make people feel welcome. Give them that space to just learn the basics. Like what is franchising, right? Like at its core, like people don't always realize what you're actually buying when you engage with a franchisor is actually not the building. You're paying for that yourself usually. Yeah. It's a license. Yeah. You're acquiring a license to operate according to systems and standards. And I think when people realize that, sometimes there's a little bit of a light bulb that goes off, and it helps them understand, okay, that's where my role is. I'm still an entrepreneur. I'm still a business owner. I get to partner with and benefit from the strength of this brand.
Yes.
But that's where the line is. Okay, cool. So if you host intro to franchising sessions, you can help people understand what this space is all about, what different types of parts of the process look like and why they exist.
Yes.
And by the way, if a part of your process, recruitment or approval, because they're sort of broken into two phases in my world, there's recruitment where we try to like find the people, and there's approval where we try to get them to sign.
Yeah.
If I can put it simply. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. I was talking about the two different parts of the process. Okay, if a part of your process, if you cannot explain why it's part of your process, it should not be part of your process.
Repeat it for the people in the back, into that camera over there.
Yeah, if you cannot explain why a part of your process exists, it should not be part of that process, most likely.
Yes, I love that. Those internal reflective questions that should really sit with the franchisor and should be asked from time to time, so important. Because sometimes something that worked at one point in time, I mean, we've all been through the ups and downs of the last 5 years. Maybe it's time to revisit some of those processes and say, do we still need this?
Yeah. And when we ask that question, if we are asking the question, why is this part of our process? If the only answer we can come up with is, well, it's the way we've always done it. A corporation, an organization, a business that relies on the way we've always done it, that is the slow kiss of death for your growth.
Yeah.
The way we've always done it. And the way we've always done it got us this far. That's great. We have to keep going.
Yes. Evolving. Yes. Yeah. Love that. That's a hard one sometimes, I find, to overcome in franchising.
It is.
Because it's how we've always done things has a little bit more weight to it when there's a system built around it, that ideology, or to your point, when it has brought us this amount of success so far. But sometimes you're like, if you think that's success, making this little tweak.
Well, and that's the other thing too. If the only answer to why we're doing something is it's the way we've always done it, it's not a good answer. If the answer is it's the way we've always done it and these are the results it's driving, well, that's a better answer.
Yeah.
Maybe that's okay.
Yeah.
But if the only answer is it's the way we've always done it, I would beg you to consider that. Just sit with it for a little bit and ask yourself, am I saying that just because change is hard? And it is. Like, change is hard. I've, at different points in my career helped build and rebuild and evaluate and audit different types of processes. And it's hard. It's not always fun.
Yeah.
And I understand why there's sometimes resistance to it and just wanting to stay in the comfort of the way we've always done things. We don't get better if we stay the way we always were.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the more leaders can acknowledge that it is hard, it might be uncomfortable, we might not even get it right the first time, and there might be missteps along the way. I think we get a little bit more commitment and we can hold each other more accountable to get through that hard stuff when we have a clear vision for where we're going.
Yeah, absolutely.
So having that clarity, knowing what the goalpost is and acknowledging, okay, like this might be a bumpy ride, but we'll get there together.
Yeah.
And we'll offer each other grace along the way. Yeah.
No, good talk.
So,
good talk. I think we sidetracked a little bit. I think it was a good one. Will it make the final cut? I hope so.
It all makes the final cut. It's raw, authentic, unapologetic, and hot.
Awesome.
And hot.